ever heard the Israelites? What you know about the Israelites? All right. So let me ask you this. When you look at our community, what do you think we need to do to fix it? How we gonna do that? Just your opinion. All right. You in a hurry to go in and come out right quick, or you got a minute? Go. It'll be 28 and 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse number 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
No, you gotta go make it quick. So God said we would be cursed if we didn't obey him. Goes right. So watch verse 16.
First shall there be in the city.
You just said we get pushed out and live in the worst cities, right? Watch this, 6 and 6.
This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 6. But godliness with contentment is great gain.
That's been our people's problem. They've been godly, but without contentment. How? They don't continue in his laws, statutes, and commandments. So therefore, we got stricken with diseases, blindness, craziness, madness. So the main essential point I want to get to, I know you got to go, is we're trying to wake up the 12 tribes of Israel and get brothers like yourself to be with us, to help us go out and wake up the nation. To say what? First, keep the commandments to understand them so we can know how to apply them for our people to get right. So we don't die in the midst of what Christ going to do on this earth. See what I'm saying? So that's basically our message. So if you got questions or anything like that, you can hit us up. Our number on the back of that, on the inside. You open it up. Our number is right about here. So you can email us, YouTube, all of that. So
Before you leave, brother, do you believe in like the holidays, the Christmas? I'm going to give you another document that I want you to read, and it covers all of the pagan holidays. Yeah, so, okay, so all praises, all praises.
So one more before you go, Deuteronomy 15, Deuteronomy, Numbers 15:38. Real quick. So you know about the Sabbath day and all those things, right? So let me give you one more.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 15 and verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a whoring.
So that's what we are here to tell you, because give me Zephaniah 1 and 5. This is what Christ said, and it's important because this is our heritage. This is who we are. If you look at the Native Americans and any history of them, that's all they had in their clothes. So this is, God told us to do this, because think about this. If a brother go in the store and he steals something, where the first place he gonna put it? In his pocket. So what you gonna feel, thou shalt not steal, that's what you gonna remember. A brother still might steal it, that's them with God. But it's gonna help you to remember, darn, I might wanna put this back because I'm gonna die and go to hell if I don't. So watch this.
This is the Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 5. And them that worship the host of heaven upon the housetops, and them that worship, and that swear by the Lord, and that swear by Malcolm.
Watch this. Give me Zechariah 1 and verse 5. Now watch this. Because again, the fringes are to remind us of to keep the commandments.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 1 and verse 5. Your fathers, where are they? And the prophets, do they live forever?
Give me 1 and verse 8. Salaki.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1 and verse 8. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children and all such as are clothed with strange apparel. Strange apparel.
Because the strange apparel would be right now. If Christ was to crack the sky, he would see a difference between you and a difference between us. And that's the day we don't want our brothers and sisters caught in. So we trying to just remind you, hey brother, just remember, trying to come back to these commandments so that way you're not caught on that day of his sacrifice. And he destroying them who eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, celebrating Ishtar Day, Christmas, all of that, they gonna get destroyed. But us making a difference, he gonna look at you totally different. Our brothers got something else? Make sense? All right. Well, be safe, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As we always say, we say good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time of day you want to call it. We are the Israelites to say that we are the 12 tribes of Israel, and we come to wake our people up to show them who they are. Brother, you got 2 minutes? You got 2 minutes? We're trying to wake our people up and show them who they are. And what's the main goal? To show us that we are God's chosen people, that we have to come back to his laws, statutes. We have to, we have to come back to his laws, statutes, and commandments. And how are we going to do that? We have to repent. Give me that in, let's get that Daniel 9 and 11. I didn't bring that out the other night. So give me that 9 and 11, and we're going to read the verse 12. And little bro, if you got a precept, always just let me know. Let me know.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law. All Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him.
Because we have sinned against him. What's your name, bro? What's your name? Michael? I'm Justin. Nice to meet you, man. So I got a question for you. Would you say you're a Christian? You say you look. Come on over here. Come on this side. Come on this side so you can see the information we got. Come on over on this side. Yeah, it don't matter which one you want to get. So, you ever heard of the Israelites in the Bible, brother? You ever heard of Israel, Israelites? You heard that? So, you know anything about Israel or the Israelites? You know much? So let me ask you this. Who would you say this man is right here? That's who they teach us is Jesus, right? What does the Bible say Jesus looked like? You know? Let's get it. Revelation.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
So John is about to explain the revelation of Jesus Christ. He's about to reveal and show us what Christ looks like. So this is what we see right here, right? Now let's see what God gave to John. Let's see.
Revelation 1 verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and a girt about the paps, with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So the Bible says Jesus Christ's hair was white like wool. Does this look white like wool? Read it one more time, Cap.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So if you look at your hair and your beard, that's white, right? What color is this? Gray white. That's not the same color, is it? Let's keep reading.
As white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass.
So it says now Christ is explaining his feet. So does your feet look like the rest of your body? It does, right? Your feet is brown, your legs are brown, your arms are brown, your neck is brown, hands are brown, head is brown, right? So your feet is not white and the rest of your body brown, is it? It's not that way. All of your body is brown, right? So read this again.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
So now it says Christ's feet was like unto fine brass. Brass is a brown. It's like a penny. Brass is like this. As if what?
As if they burned in a furnace.
So now it's brown, but then when you take something and burn it, what color does it turn? When you burn something, what color does it turn? Black. It turns black when it's burned. When you burn bread, it turns black. So read that again.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
So it says Christ was so dark that it looked like he was burned in a furnace. It looks like he was burned in fire. So when you burn something, it turns black. This is not the same color we're reading, is it? What is this right here? That looks more like what we're reading, right? Because his hair white like wool. He has brown bronze skin. But when you come over here, that's not what he looks like. This man is called Caesar Borgia. This was given to us by our slave master. You remember we were slaves, right? Black people. This was given to us by the slave master. His name is Caesar Borgia. Watch this.
First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 48. And lay open the book of the law.
So the white man took the book of the law, the book of Moses, the book of Job, the book of Elijah, all of those books, Samuel. The white man took those books,
wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. To paint the likeness of their images.
They took our books and repainted over our pictures and made this. So that's why today, when you came up, I asked you who was this. What did you say? It was Jesus. But now when we read the Bible, we see this is not Jesus, right? We see that this looks more like Jesus than this picture right here, right? So, you got something else?
Precept. Job 30:30. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burnt with heat. So even Job in the Bible was black, but you let them tell it, he was white. They just played the Ten Commandments the other day. What color was Moses in the Ten Commandments? They got him white, but Moses is a black man. All the prophets back then were black. But they'll tell you that they all white. They'll portray them as being white. And all this is a lie. We can go ahead and show you quite a few things in here that tells you that's our book. That's our book. This is like a personal letter to us. They got their forefathers, we got ours. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Them our forefathers. Not them fools that they got sitting up there that they don't call, they should cut and put in a rock. Them not ours. Thomas Jefferson and all them not ours. That's theirs.
So therefore, we have to follow what our ancestors have told us. And they lied. The only person that can truly tell you about it in the Bible is John 3:16. And they don't even know the real meaning behind John 3:16. Because if you go back and tell me what John 3:14 say. They couldn't tell you. Well, who was the conversation between? With John 3:1. They can't tell you that either. They can only tell you, and even back in slavery, the slavery Bible they had, they took John 3:16 out of it, and here recently, they put it back in there. So like I said, they've been lying to us for so long, and the pastors ain't no better, because they sit there, they make money for hire. So like I said, they lie to us. And it's our job to come out, and that's why we come out here on these corners, trying to talk to our people and let them know that you've been lied to all this time, and we're trying to change that so we can get our people back on the court. God is not waiting on us. We're waiting on him. As soon as he gives 144, it's over with. It's a done deal. As soon as he gets his 144,000, let me ask you something. How many gates there are to heaven? How many? You can't say. See, most of them tell you it's one gate, just one big open gate. But that's not true. You got the precept? Go ahead and read the precept.
All right, brother, listen. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 21 and verse 12. And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
So, I'm gonna run with what you just brought out.
Go ahead.
So, as the elder said, they lied to us. They lied to us in school. Because if you notice in school, where does our history start? At slavery. We don't know anything else before slavery, right? That's all we know. Let me show you something. God called us as his children, the children of Israel. God called us the children of Judah. The so-called black man, he called us the children of Judah. That's who we are. So with that said, we have an obligation, that's it, Cap. We have an obligation to come back to God. Now, how do we do that? Let me show you. Now, you tell me if you can identify with this and see if you are an Israelite.
Exodus chapter 1, verse 1. Now these are the name of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob. What he just showed you down there. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. These are your 12 tribes. Same 12 that he just showed you on there. Like he just said a minute ago, 12 gates for the 12 tribes. So when you hear a white person talking about, I'm going to heaven, no, you ain't going to heaven, because it ain't meant for you. This is your heaven. That's why they own everything. Now we're going to Deuteronomy again. That's why they own everything. We don't own anything. Why we don't own anything? Because we did not follow the laws, statutes, and commandments from the Lord. So since we didn't follow the laws, statutes, and commandments, he's okay. We supposed to be up here. But since we didn't follow, he brought us down here and brought different down here and put them up on top. Now they over us. But those days are getting ready to change. And we get ready to change here. Time is short. Time is short. So right now, we're trying to, like I said, we're trying to get our people and bring them back. And put them back where we belong. On top, not below. We're the head, not the tail. But you let them tell it. Anything that's black is bad. But that is not true. That's a lie. It's the other way around. Anything that's white is bad. Look at your government right now. Look at it. You got a war going on right now, all because your name is caught up in the Epstein file. So you rather start a war and cause you to lose innocent lives because you're trying to cover your butt. So, like I said, with what they doing, all this stuff finna get ready to come to tails. It is. It's getting ready to come to heads and stuff. Look at Israel. They've been talking all that noise all these years about Israel. Israel and hide. We are the true children of Israel. That's what we just read off. We are the true kids. We are the true children of Israel. We're Judah. We're these different names. You go in there and show me Mexican in the Bible, you ain't gonna find Mexican nowhere in there. Mexican, Cubans, what's some of the others that they call us? Guatemalans. You're not gonna find any of them names in there. Any of them. But you'll find these 12 tribes that we just called off. And that's what we're trying to do, is wake our people and let them know that you are somebody. You are somebody. Go ahead.
So watch this. Let me give you everything the brother's saying with the scripture. So watch this. Give me Deuteronomy 28:15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
As the elder said, we don't own nothing. We don't have nothing in our name. We don't have no land. You remember 40 acres and a mule? Did you ever get it? No. My mama never got it. My grandmother never got it. Why? Read verse 15 again.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken.
It's going to happen. God said it's going to happen if you, like the elder just said, if we don't listen to God,
unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So God said if we didn't obey him as a black people, Mexican people, Latino people, the 12 tribes of Israel, we would be cursed as a people. Now let me show you one of the curses. Give me 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. In the field.
Who do you know had to pick cotton in the field? Who did that type of work? Was it white people? It wasn't white people. Who picked cotton? Black people. Who picked sugar cane? Black people. Who picked rice? Black people. Who give me something. Who? Rubber? Black people. Who built the White House? Black people. This is all of us doing this. But we haven't benefited from any of this. Because we on food stamps, welfare, fixed income, government assistance. That's how black people live. But you go over to, what's a white community out here? You go to Golden Springs, it don't look like Constantine. They look totally different. Why? Because they benefited off of a system that God promised would happen to us. God told us plainly, if you don't obey me, you're going to see Golden Springs and you're going to be in Constantine. That's what God promised us. Go ahead.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 35 and verse 22. And it came to pass, when Israel dwelt in the land, when Reuben went to lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard it, the sons of Jacob were 12. The sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and Simeon, and Levi, and Judah, and Issachar, and Zebulun, and the sons of Rachel, Joseph, and Benjamin.
So these were you want to touch on it? You want to say something? So these were the children that came from Jacob. So everybody we showed you right here on this list is what the young brother just read to you. We are those nations. Now, how did black people get here to America? We came here as slaves, but what was our transportation? How did we get here? Was it a car? Was it an airplane? How did we get here? You remember how we got here? You remember Kuta Kinte? How did it show you they got here? On a what? It goes on the water. A boat. Let me show you that this is in the Bible. Kuta Kinte's story is in the Bible. Let's read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies. For bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
That word, no man shall buy you, means no man will redeem you. Because I'm sure you remember Martin Luther King, right? What happened to him? They shot him. Malcolm X, they shot him too. Marcus, who? Malcolm?
Malcolm X got shot in his sleep.
Shot him right on stage. You look at, what's his name? Fred Hampton. They shot him in his house. Every black leader that we've had couldn't help us because God said if we didn't obey him, we would go into slavery. When we went into slavery, that's how we got white Jesus. When we went into slavery, that's how we got the cross around our neck. When we went into slavery, that's why we think all nations going to heaven with us. But think about this, brother. How can a God save you from a people that enslaved you and allow them to go to heaven with you? That makes no sense. That wouldn't be a just God, would it? That's just like if I rob from you and you take me to court and you have to pay me because I stole from you. That doesn't make sense, does it? So how does it make sense that you can be a white man's slave, or our family could be a white man's slave, and he still go to heaven with you? That don't make sense, dude. Give me Exodus 21:16. Y'all brothers got something? Let me know.
Like, what are we saying, though? Like, what's the basic of what we saying right now? I'm saying, like, what are we saying? The question was, do you get exactly what we saying? Like, what's the point of why we saying what we saying? What is it, El? You can't understand what we saying.
We're trying to help you. We ain't trying to hurt you.
So let me ask you a simple question. Do you understand, do you now know that you are an Israelite? Do you know that? That you are God's chosen people? You know that? So you understand that, right? That you are God's chosen people. Got that? Okay. So do you know how special you are to God? Do you know? How special are you to God? Yeah, how special are you to God? You. Do you believe you're a king? Do you believe that you are a king? You do? So, who are you to God? Just said it. The king. Watch this. Let's get what you got.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head. For that is even all one as if she were shaven. So, yeah, how long you got, Elder, to be here? You finna go, or you just chilling? Okay. So look, next time you start to read the Bible or hear somebody talking about it, take your head off, brother, because it might be blocking your understanding because you got the head on. Oh, man! You understand, brother?
You be safe, brother. Have a good night. Yes, sir. So what's the main message? Let's get it. Where was we at? You had a precept you was getting? You had something? Okay. Let's read what you got.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse number 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that upon the face of the earth.
So God says that we are a special people and we are above all people on the face of the earth. That's above everybody. That is above the Chinese, the Arab, Hindu. We above all nations, but for some reason we love gutter mentality. We love being at the bottom, struggling, going through the most, instead of saying, you know what, God, let me do it your way. Let me try to accept what you want me to do. Let me try to follow the ways you want me to follow. Instead of doing my own thing. Instead of trying to do it the way I choose to do it. Let's read this.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9 in the ESV. But you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for his own possession, that you may proclaim the excellencies of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
He called us to be a marvelous light. What is that light? To show his commandments, to teach the nation, to teach all the nations. Even the people who don't want to do it, they're going to have to do it. And if they don't want to do it, they're going to die. So what are we out here bringing out? That we have to keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. We have to do exactly what he say. So let's look at this. Let's go to 26, I think it is. 26, 21. Yes, sir. Let's read verse 19.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 19. My son, keep the flower of thine age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed.
So the Bible telling us to sow our possessions with our own seed. When you get a wife, sow it with your own seed,
Trusting in the goodness of thy stock.
So that means you trusting in the goodness that you come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Read on.
So thy race which thou leavest shall be magnified. So thy race which thou leavest shall be magnified.
So now that the race you leave may be magnified. They love saying race not in the Bible, but it's right here. It's telling you so your race can be magnified. That's the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. Read on.
Having the confidence of their good descent.
Having confidence in your good descent, knowing what? We ain't no trash. We ain't no niggas. We ain't porch monkeys. We came from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. These are our forefathers. We ain't Mexican, Hispanic, Cuban, Guatemalan, but we are God's chosen people. Let's read what the Bible says.
Colossians chapter 2 and verse number 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiment of the world, and not after Christ.
So that's what these churches teaching. They taught you Easter honey bun, honey baked ham all weekend, and then many people right now they on their way to the doctor's office, high blood pressure, gout, hypertension, fluid on their ankles. They having to go pee every 30 minutes all week. Why? Because they fill themselves up with the abominable thing. So now let's read what else the Bible say. Let's read this. Let's read this.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have served you from other people, that ye should be mine.
So he separated us. Now give me Exodus chapter 11 and verse 7. The Lord separated us from all nations. Now how do we know that? Because it tells us plain as day in Exodus chapter 11 and verse 7. Let's see.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 11 and verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how the Lord doeth a difference between the Egyptians and Egypt.
He put a difference between the Egyptians and who else? Who did that say?
Israel.
He put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. So with that said, like the brother brought out, he called us and separated us to be a holy people. That's a beautiful precept. He called us to be a holy people. Let's read what you got, Cap. He called us to be a holy people. So let's go into that.
Mark chapter 5, verse 25. And a certain woman which had an issue of blood 12 years, and had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was nothing better, but rather grew worse. When she had heard of Yahushua, came in a breeze behind, and touched his garment. For she said, if it may touch but his clothes, I shall be whole. And straightway that fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of the plague. And Jesus, immediately knowing in himself that virtue had gone out of him, turned him about in the praise and said, who touched my clothes? And his disciples said unto him, thou seest the multitude coming thee, and saying thou, who touched me? And he looked around about to see her, that he had done this thing. But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done in her, came and fell down before him and told him all the truth. And he said unto her, daughter, thy faith hath made thee whole. Go in peace and be whole of thy plague.
So watch out, right after he healed the woman, I want you to read that for a certain reason. Watch the next part in just that 35, 36.
Verse 35, while he yet spake, there came from the ruler of the synagogue's house certain which said, thy daughter is dead. Why troublest thou the master any further? As soon as Jesus heard the word that was spoken, he said unto the ruler of the synagogue, be not afraid, only believe.
That's what we're trying to tell our people. Don't be afraid of what's coming on this earth, but only believe. We got some things happening. We got some troubles going on. We got Jacob's trouble happening, but these things are letting us know don't be afraid because he's going to save us. You got a precept? He's going to save us. Let's read that.
I got Deuteronomy chapter 3, start at verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
That's what he gonna say. Now go. Yeah, some more on there you want to read? Let's go. If not, let's go to chapter 4, verse 6. It's saying pretty much the same thing. Let's read that.
All right. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great? Who hath God so nigh unto them?
That's the problem right there. That's why people get angry with us, because they see how close God is to us. We can go through slavery. We can go through Jim Crow. We can go through being brought here on boats, working unfairly, paid unfairly, and he's still with us. Read on.
As the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for.
That's what they're going to wonder. Why is it that when the black people call on him, ooh, it's a spiritual movement when they sing them Negro spirituals. It's something you feel goosebumps when they sing. Yes, because they know we have a connection with the Father they ain't never going to have. Let's read what you got.
Ecclesiastes chapter 17, verse 11. Beside this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for a heritage. He made an everlasting covenant with them and showed them his judgment.
Their eyes saw the majesty of his glory, and their ears his glorious voice.
Bluetooth mode. Pairing.
Check.
So what you just brought out was very, very on point and very key. You got that 2nd Ezra 9:22.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 22. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant. For with great labor have I made it perfect.
So with great labor have I made it perfect. Now watch this. Go down to verse 29.
Verse 29. O Lord, thou that showest thyself unto us, thou wast showed unto our fathers in the wilderness, in a place where no man treaded, in a barren place, when they came out of Egypt. And thou spakest, saying, hear me, O Israel, and mark my words, thou seed of Jacob.
That's what he said. Thou seed of Jacob, verse 31.
For behold, I sow my law in you, and it shall bring fruit in you, and ye shall be honored in it forever.
So he's letting us know what he put in us, but for some reason we don't see it in us. We don't want to hear what the truth is. Let's read some more.
But our fathers, which received the law, kept it not, and observed not the ordinances, and through the fruit of thy law did not perish, neither could it, for it was thine. Yet they that received it perished, because they kept not the thing that was sown in them.
And that's what we trying to tell our people. We trying to bring them back to that. Give me Job 8 and 8. We're trying to bring our people back to the thing that was sown in them. Why? Because they went away from what the Bible has said. They'd rather twerk, they'd rather party, they'd rather club, they'd rather follow the white man ways, they'd rather follow the Chinese man ways instead of saying, you know what, Father, it's time for us to repent. It's time for us to get the hatred out of our heart, the malice out of our heart, the bitterness, the anger, the unforgiveness toward our brother or sister, so we can walk daily with a clear conscience. Let's read what the book of Job says.
This is the book of Job, chapter 8 and verse 8. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to search of their fathers.
So he's saying, prepare yourself for the search of your fathers. Why? Because there were some things, as you said, the word was sown in them a long time ago, but some of them perished because they didn't follow. That's what we're trying to get our people to do. Go back and search these things so we can do what? Get ourselves right. Romans 15, verse. Okay, let's read.
Just a little more on 9. For we are but of yesterday, and know nothing, because our days upon earth are a shadow.
So we are but as of yesterday. Let's hold that real quick. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. I'm coming, Cap. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. Why does it say we are but of yesterday? Let's see why. Ecclesiastes 1 and verse, I want to say it's 9. It might be 7, but I think it's 9. 1 and, yes.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, Salaki. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. and there is no new thing under the sun.
So that thing that has been, go to chapter 6, verse 10. That thing that has been, let's see what that thing is. Let's see.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 6 and verse 10. That which has been is named already, and it is known that it is man.
So that thing that has been before, it is man. So the thing that our forefathers have done, it's us. We done already seen this thing before, but we don't believe it. Let's read what you got, Cap.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee.
Ask your fathers and think of the ways, and they will tell thee. Let's get that, what you had? Okay, 2 Ezra 5:42. They know these things to be true, but they won't change it. They won't change it. They won't do nothing about it because why? Oh, I'm comfortable. I'm scared. Let's get there.
2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 42. And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring, like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first.
So what's done happened once is going to happen again. That's why it's coming right back around the same way. We're watching Issachar, we're watching Zebulun, we're watching Naphtali get taken into captivity the same way they were taken when Shalmaneser and 2 Kings came and got them the first time. These are things that the church ain't going to tell you about. Why? Get that Malachi 3 verse 6. Why aren't the Christian church or the pastors going to teach this or say these things? Because they know that they're not telling you truthful things nor truthful information. So let's see, Malachi chapter 3 verse 6.
Malachi chapter 3, verse 6. For I am Yahweh, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
So therefore we are not consumed. Why are we not consumed? Because he's given us time to get it right. Malachi 2 verse 6.
Malachi 2, verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth. For he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts.
So the pastor is the messenger, but they supposed to seek the law, but many people going to church week after week, day after day, Sunday after Sunday, and they still not hearing the right words from the preacher. Because why? He too busy sleeping with the clerk. He too busy touching the keyboard player. He too busy dealing with the choir director. Let's read the Bible.
Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 14. Then the Lord said unto me, the prophets prophesy lies in my name. I sent them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them. They prophesy unto you a false vision and divination, and a thing of naught, and the deceit of their heart.
They prophesy the deceit of their heart. Why? Because they prophesying to you houses, money, cars, clothes that they gonna go spend on their wife and they ex-girlfriend and they extra concubine. This is what they doing. And then you saying, well, Lord, if I don't give my tithes, something gonna go wrong in my life. I ain't gave tithes in I don't know how long, and I've seen more blessings than I've seen anything, because you was looking for that return back that we've been taught all our life. But then you come to find out it was a bunch of bull jive. It was never the truth from the beginning. So as it said, Yahweh is the same and he changed not. Let's read this.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 56 and verse 10. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Yea, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough. And they are shepherds that cannot understand.
And they are shepherds that cannot understand. Why? Because of this right here.
They all look to their own way. All look to their own way.
They all look to their own way. Brother, that blessing coming, that house coming, that miracle coming. You don't have to keep no commandments. You can do what you want to do. You can live how you want to live, break God's laws.
Everyone for his gain from his quarter.
Every man for his gain from his quarter. That's what they're looking for, that money. They're looking to be paid for some of these things. Let's read.
Michael chapter 3, verse 10. They build up Zion with blood, and Jerusalem with iniquity. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord, and say, is not the Lord among us? none evil can come upon us.
So no evil can come upon us. So what is they saying? Let's get that. Isaiah 28:15. What are they saying? No evil shall come upon us. Elder, let me know when you read the roll. No evil thing shall come upon us. What are they saying? What are they saying? Let's get that. Isaiah 28:15.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we in agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come into us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves.
So they made lies their refuge and they've hid themselves. What did it say? They made lies their refuge and they've hid themselves on the things not true. How do we know? Because we're watching it week after week. You try to talk to a Christian, your mother, father, sister, brother, auntie, cousin, they don't want to hear pastor. They don't want to hear this truth because they've hid themselves under a false illusion. Let's read this. I'm coming right to you. Let's read this. Yeah, that's what he just read. All praises.
Malachi chapter 2 and verse 1. And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you. If ye will not hear, and if ye will not lay it to heart, to give glory unto my name, says the Lord of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. Yea, I have cursed them already, because ye do not lay it to heart. Verse number 3, behold, I will corrupt your seed and spread dawn upon your face, even the dawn of your Solomon feast, and one shall take you away with it.
So these pastors gonna get taken away right with the wickedness that's coming to this earth. And they don't even see it. They still preaching and hollering and sweating and alligator shoes on. Yeah, they thought we got fed to alligators. You gonna get fed to more than an alligator and your shoes. Let's read what you got.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 21. For the pastors are become brutish and have not sought the Lord. Therefore they shall not prosper, and all their flocks shall be scattered.
All their flocks shall be scattered. Read that one more time. It was something you said in there.
For the pastors are become brutish and have not sought the Lord. Therefore they shall not prosper, and all their flocks shall be scattered.
So it says they have not done right by studying the word nor taking heed to what the scriptures say. So now all the flock gonna be scattered. Read on.
And when they say the flock shall be scattered, that's why people go to different religions from church to church.
So give me that and go. All right, watch this. Watch.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23 and verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord.
So they scatter the sheep, thus saith the Lord. So watch this. What's going to happen? Let's get into that. What's going to happen because he scattered the sheep? Verse 3. Let's get.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23 and verse 3. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries, whither I have driven them, and I will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase.
So he's letting us know what's going to happen, and that he's going to make us fruitful, and we're going to increase. Now watch the change that's going to come from these fake, wicked Negro pastors, jelly-back preachers. Watch this.
And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith the Lord.
We coming right back to this. Let's read what you got, Cap.
Revelation chapter 19, verse 20. And the beast was taken with him, the false prophet, that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worship his image. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. And the remnant was slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh.
You know I got to get the precept for that. 2nd Ezra 15, was it 13? The blast of fire. Let's read, go back to, because of them same wicked preachers, let's read verse 4 again.
Here's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23 and 4. And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more.
Why are we fearing now? Because when you go to church, you're only getting a feel-good message. They're not teaching you nothing to prepare you for the times that's coming. They're only giving you watered-down, sugar daddy sermons, telling you about your haters and your participators. That's the only thing they're telling you about. Read on.
Nor be dismayed.
Nor be dismayed, confusion of faces. That's a scripture too. We sit here with confusion of faces. That's how we are. And the Bible says you won't be that way no more.
Neither shall they be lacking.
Why are we lacking? Because when you pay all your tithes to the church, you go back and you try to get some help. Guess what they tell you, brother? I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do for you. I can't help you. Or if you hadn't been there in 3 months, they tell you, well, we hadn't saw you. You don't have no activity. You ain't paid nothing on the law, so we can't help you out. There's some more in there. We can't help you out. Watch this.
Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In his days Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And this is his name, whereby he shall be called the Lord our righteousness.
So that's what we know, these days are to come, but we have to prepare ourselves to get ready for this return. Let's read this.
2 Ezra chapter 14, verse 13. Now therefore set thy house in order, and reprove thy people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature.
Put off now the weak nature. What's that weak nature? Give me 2 Ezra 16:71. 74. What does that mean? Put off the weak nature. Let's see. Don't let your sin. 77.
2 Ezra 16, verse 77. Woe be unto them that are bound.
Let's start at 74.
2 Ezra 16, verse 74. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for God is your God, and the God of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord God. Let not your sins weigh you down. Let not your sins weigh you down.
That's what you just said, ain't it? You said come out of that stuff. So even Ezra saying the same thing 2 chapters later. Don't let your sins weigh you down.
And let not your iniquities lift up themselves.
Let not your iniquities lift up themselves. What's iniquity? Breaking the commandments. Don't keep letting that thing rise up in you, because what Pastor said, it's all gravy in the Navy. It's all good in the hood. You can eat shrimp on your hood. You can do whatever you want to do. That's not right. Read on.
Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins.
So we are here to say tonight, woe be unto them that are bound in 1 John 3 and 4 and 5 and 3, who are saying, I'm not going to keep no commandments. I'm not going to do what the Father say do. I'm going to keep doing what I want to do.
And covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes.
Think about a field covered with bushes when you used to walk home from school, that little route you try to take on the back way, and you see it's glass all over the walkway, or needles, or wherever. It was a bad neighborhood. It's like, nah, bro, I can't even walk through that.
Like as a field covered over with bushes, and a path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through.
So nobody don't even want to walk through that thing, because why? It's garbage there. It's a trash pile. That's the same way it is. That's why it says, give me Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 4. Let's see what the Bible says. You got something? Let's see what the Bible says. Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 4. Let's see.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 4. For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin.
So that's why it's not going to dwell in you, because it's not going to stay. Because why? We're too comfortable living in this sin, living in a life that's not profitable to what God or Christ is trying to get you to do. Let's read the Bible.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and I will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him, but they shall serve the Lord their God, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them.
He's going to raise up David. That's why when it says that which has been shall be, we don't know who it is that's going to be that David. But we do know what? That Christ is coming back to establish and reset up everything. But in the meantime, what we trying to do? Get ourselves together. Get ourselves right before what? That great and dreadful day. Let's read what you got.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 6. For the Most High hateth sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the godly, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. Give unto the good, and help not the sinner.
And help not the sinner. Don't help the sinner because they wicked. Proverbs 23 and 21.
John chapter 4 and verse 22. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. Verse 23, but the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshiper shall worship the Father in spirit and truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. Verse 24, God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
What is that truth? You must worship him. Let's get that. Let's get that truth. Psalms 147, verse 119.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
That's how our people are. They waiting. Oh, Lord, I can't wait for you to come back. Lord, I can't wait for you to come and get us. But it's not a good day for you. Let's read that again.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
The day of the Lord is darkness, not light. Is some more in there? It's darkness and not light. Let's get Isaiah 63, verse 4. It's darkness and not light. Let's see why it's darkness and not light. I'm coming to that. Why is it darkness and not light? Let's see. Isaiah 63 and verse. Yes, sir.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 63 and verse 4. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeeming is come.
He letting you know the day is in his heart. He can't wait on that day. So that's why that day is not a good day for people. Oh, brother, I can't wait for the Lord to return and set all this in order. What you waiting on? And you're not even keeping what the Bible say. I'm coming there, elder. And you're not even keeping it.
Amos 5, verse 19. And as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house, and laid his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it?
So it's not even going to be a good day, because why? This is the part they fell in at. 147, 119? Was it 19? 19, yeah, 19.
Psalm 147 in verse 19. He shewed his word unto Jacob, his stature and his judgment unto Israel. He has not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgment, they are not known to them. Praise ye the Lord.
So they don't even know his laws and commandments. Let's get that 2nd Ezra 3:36. They don't 3 and 30, or is it 3:36? They don't even know to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Why? Because it was never given unto them. You holding something, brother? Let's get something. Let's read it.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23 and verse 12. Wherefore their way shall be unto them as slippery ways in the dark. They shall be driven on and fall therein, for I will bring evil upon them, even the year of their visitation, saith the Lord.
Even the year of visitation. What's the year of visitation? What was that, Isaiah 24? Give me Isaiah 24. What's the day of visitation? We're going to see. Just get that. Isaiah 24. What you have?
Let's read it. 3, yeah. Second Ezra, chapter 3, verse 35. Or when was it they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have so kept thy commandments? Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
Not the heathen. Nobody else has kept his commandments or precepts. It wasn't the heathen nation. But give me Ezekiel 25 and 32. I think it's 24. It's Isaiah 20, because he brought up in the pit. Isaiah 24, I want to say 19. Let me make sure. Let's see, I want to get that one right. Isaiah 24, and then we're going to wrap it up shortly. 24, 17. Salah. Yeah, 27, but that's what, 27, 14, 20, no, Isaiah 24, verse 17. For we will be 25, 32, we shall be as around God. Day of visitation. Let's get that. They're going to fall in the pit. We can get that one too, but I'm going to go to Revelation, because you said, pull that precept up you just read. Yeah, I'm going to tie that to what you said. Where you at? 20, 32. Let's read it.
Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 32. And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all, that you say, we will be as the heathen, as the families of the countries, to serve wood and stone.
And that's what our people chose. We said we're going to be as the heathen. So when they try to say these weren't the Israelites, weren't the Gentiles of the Bible, you got to be crazy, because how many times we see them called heathen, Gentile, and even when you read in Acts, it talk about the Hellenistic period. They don't even want to deal with that. So anyway, where we at? Let's read what you got.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23 and verse 12. Wherefore their way shall be unto them as slippery ways in the darkness. They shall be driven on and fall therein. For I will bring the evil upon them, even the year of their visitation, saith the Lord.
So you said they're going to fall. They're going to fall. They're going to fall therein. Now give me Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 17. What are they going to fall into? Let's see. Give me Revelations 20 and verse 4. I believe that's where it is. Revelation 20 and 4. Let's read this.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 24 and verse 17. Fear and the pit and the snare upon thee, O inhabitant of the earth. And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare, for the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake.
So this is the day that Christ returned. These nations, the earth is going to shake from that. And the same people, when you read in Revelation, shall be gathered into the pit. This is the same pit that is talking about in Isaiah. They're going to be gathered together and visited and threw in the pit. And he's going to do it by the hands of who? The children of Israel. But these things the pastor not telling people. He's just letting them live. And they up here don't have no hope, no nothing. That's why they wake up bugged out every day. I ain't no hope. Me looking forward to nothing. Well, I'm looking forward to this day. Let's read what you got. You got your old son? Okay. Let's read this. Sure.
Nahum, chapter 1, in verse number 3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. And the Lord has his way in the whirlwind and in the storm and in the clouds are the dust of his feet. If you think about it and you look, what's happening around? You got fires that start. You got things, what, they just had a tsunami in Hawaii. You got all these storms and everything that's happening. His temperance is in his storms. Look at all these earthquakes that we got going on. We got tornadoes in places that they ain't never had tornadoes. Look at Michigan. What side of Michigan got wiped out by a tornado? Like I say, he's doing things right now. He is judging the earth as we speak.
Man, that's all facts.
Revelation chapter 20, verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in it, 4 quarters of the earth. God and Magog, the 4 quarters of the earth, he will gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea.
So Gog and Magog is dealing with the Arab nations. It's letting you know that they gonna gather together to battle. It's plain as day. Let's read on smoke.
Verse 9, and they went on the bread of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about, and the beloved city, and fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them.
That's letting you know. It's some on there. It's letting you know what's happening.
And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever.
That's the day we waiting on. Y'all brothers got something else y'all want to bring out? That's the thing we waiting on. Y'all brothers got something else? Let me know. I can wait a second. Y'all do. Sure? Got something else, brother? Yep. Let's read Psalms 149. And we're going to wrap it up and get up out of here. We're going to get ready for Tyler. I'm going to put it out. Tyler Digger. Get it. Psalms 149. Got it? Yeah, 149, 10 verses.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 149. Praise ye the Lord. Sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise in the congregation of saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp. For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains, and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord.
And with that, we say, Kwam Yasharala. Kwam Yasharala. And with that, we say, Shalom and Shalom.